It's definitely the most unattractive thing about Emmeline, how far she's willing to go to hurt someone just because she didn't get her way, especially when Kate is really the one who pulled the fire alarm and Luke lied that it was all his fault to protect her. Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. In this one I'm going to be sharing my thoughts with you on Season 1, Episode 3 of the Netflix original series Everything Sucks. What we all know at this point is that Kate has just agreed to be Luke's girlfriend after seeing a heartfelt video of his that was put together just for her. But it's important to know that he didn't accomplish that great of a task on his own. No, he actually enlisted the help of his two best friends, Tyler and McQuaid, who, despite their doubts when it comes to Kate, did everything he asked of them just to put a smile on his face. I must say, though, that these doubts of theirs are valid, because as a closeted lesbian, Kate isn't necessarily on the same page as Luke, she just hasn't found a way to tell him yet. With that being said, we have to keep in mind that she is only a 15, 16-year-old girl at most at the very beginning of her sophomore year at boarding high school, or BHS for short. As if these kids weren't relatable enough as it is, the fact that the abbreviation of their high school is the same as mine makes me feel even closer to them than I already do, despite the fact that they are teenagers in the late 90s, meaning technically they should be much older than me right now. Anyways, episode 3 begins with Luke and Kate hanging out for the first time since they first began dating, and she does everything in her power to avoid kissing him, from walking away from him whenever he leans in closer to her, to even pulling the fire alarm without thinking of the consequences until it's too late. Terrified of what will happen if they stay inside, they make a run for it, only for them to be confronted the next day by Mr. Messner, who announces that the perpetrator's actions have interrupted the production of the drama club's upcoming play, which brings out a side of Emmeline that I used to think only her boyfriend Oliver was capable of doing. Determined to get revenge on Luke, who she witnessed exit the building, she calls him out in front of the entire cafeteria and burns the back of his neck with the tip of a hot pen in detention. If you ask me, doing this is even worse than stepping on Oliver's glasses she did one of the many times that the couple got into an argument, and that's really saying something, because apparently they were given to him by his grandmother. Just kidding, what she did to Oliver really wasn't that deep, but physically assaulting Luke is on a whole nother level, and I do not approve. It's definitely the most unattractive thing about Emmeline, how far she's willing to go to hurt someone just because she didn't get her way, especially when Kate is really the one who pulled the fire alarm and Luke lied that it was all his fault to protect her. Meanwhile, Luke's mom, Sherry, attends a meeting with Mr. Messner to discuss her son's out-of-character behavior, and they end up getting closer than your average parent and teacher, convincing me that they're a match made in heaven if I've ever seen one. But just when it seems like things can't suck any more than they already do for Luke, Oliver joins in on the harassment by blowing up his phone as many times as he possibly can, convincing Kate, Tyler, and McQuaid that the only way they'll ever get the upperclassmen off their backs is by meeting them in the middle. Knowing them better than anyone else in the group as a sophomore among freshmen, Kate comes up with the perfect idea of how to solve this problem with copious amounts of alcohol. The terrified looks on everyone's faces when finally reaching their hangout spot are almost as bad as the ones in The Walking Dead when Negan played an intense game of Eeny Meeny Miny Moe with Rick and his group of fellow survivors as the upperclassmen stare them down, not batting an eyelash in the process. Of course, this is where it comes to an end, and we have to wait until the next episode to see what happens next. Obviously, my least favorite part would have to be when I saw Emmeline at her worst, because all Luke wanted to do was make Kate happy, whether they ended up kissing by the end of the week or not, and she made it impossible for him to do that without him getting hurt in the process. Thankfully, though, the sparks flying between Sherry and Ken when meeting each other for the first time makes up for this blood-boiling part of the episode. I mean, they have so much in common, from their single-parent status to their struggles to stay close to their children as they get older, which really makes me believe that they're perfect for each other in every possible way, so they really should hold on to this connection for as long as they possibly can. Hopefully this little series is helping you better understand just how much Everything Sucks means to me, because it deserves nothing but love in return for the happiness it's brought to its viewers. I could probably go on and on about it for hours, but I'm going to end this video right here. So I hope you all enjoyed watching it as much as I enjoyed making it for you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!